Hi, Nakia here on Rat and Cat, where we search for those who have gone missing so others can learn how to survive. I wanted to follow up with my search for Austin Oldfield last weekend in Portland. And talk about a couple things. A lot of people saying, well, it's for sure he's out in the forest, and that's highly likely, but I told a couple people online that I would say why, or give a couple examples of stories why that might not be the case or why he might not be there. One is a story when I first started out of a man who went missing in California, and one of my viewers here wrote in and messaged me and said that she had seen a guy, rather it was her son, who went missing, as I recall. And it was either son or brother. I'm sorry, it's been a while. And he went missing. They found his car at a trailhead, and it looked like he'd gone backpacking, and that's what he wanted people to think. But about a month later, he was found somewhere else in California, and the police caught him starting a building on fire, evidently. So that's one example of where somebody was, similar. There was a car there, it looked like he was similar to Austin Oldfield, but he was somewhere else. Another example is a gentleman went missing right here in Skamania. He stopped in at the sheriff's office, and he was confused, and he didn't know who he was or where he was going. I think they pointed him in the right direction or something. I'm not sure exactly what happened. But anyhow, his car, he was reported missing, and they found his car right there in Skamania. But in fact, he had hitchhiked to Portland and jumped off the I-5 bridge, stripped off his clothes and jumped in. Somebody saw him. And the police were alerted that he was headed that way, or that there was a jumper there, but they weren't able to get to him in time. So, but that's about 40 miles away, I believe, 50 miles. Anyhow, about an hour away from where his car was last seen. So there's other stories like that. People getting confused, losing their identity, don't know who they are, where they're at, and so odd things happen. One thing that is different is that Austin was not cited again, as either of those gentlemen were. A lot of times if somebody has a mental illness, which he didn't prior to that, but they're likely to run into the law at some point. Also, for this to go this long without identifying yourself using any credit card or debit card or even online, is a real skill, if nothing else, in this day and age, without being identified or tracked at all, and just totally cutting yourself off from your family. So that's really unusual, and it's possible, but that is one big reason why he could still be up there in the forest somewhere. So I just wanted to give those thoughts. There is another person that has said that they're pretty sure they saw him. It's in a different part of the country, and so they're tracking that down right now. I need to touch base with them again, but we just don't know. I also want to just give you an update about what I'm up to. I've been going to search and rescue training meetings to join one of the local search and rescue teams. That's different from this project here on Rat and Cat. I mean, I may feature some stuff about it. I actually put up one video and I took it down because I was talking about the costs of joining search and rescue and just making sure you have all the right gear and the cost of that. And then I followed up with an invitation to people to join my Patreon, and it made it sound like I was asking for money for my gear. What I was actually just trying to do was say, this is how much gear costs. If you're interested in joining a search and rescue team, you could be prepared for this. Although I would update that as well. But I was actually getting people unsubscribing because they thought I was asking for money, which I don't really care. Video is what I do for a living. If you don't like that I make money from doing video, I don't really make money off of this channel. This is kind of my fun channel. I do corporate videos and videos for nonprofits, fundraising, that sort of thing. So if you have a problem with people making money off of video, I don't care. You can leave. But if you do want to support this channel on Patreon, and most of what I do here is volunteer basis, but I am trying to get in more time, take some extra time off of this summer to search for Austin and other people like him. And because it's just hard for me to get up there, put in that much time during that narrow window of time when there's no snow. There's only so much I can do. Whereas if I know I'm funded, I can just say, okay, this is what I'm going to do for this time, and I'll just tell my clients I'm not available right now. I've got another project booked. Otherwise, I have to pay the bills. So you're welcome to support that aspect of my channel here on Rat and Cat. All the Patreon dollars will go towards either one monthly search right now in lower elevations or the summer searches. So thank you for watching my channel. I was supposed to do a 24-hour pack test this weekend, but they rescheduled it. I think it's because we got a big dump of snow here in the Northwest, and that's a whole different ball game. And that's an interesting thing too in itself, because it's been interesting joining search and rescue, trying to figure out how it works. It's kind of all online, but there's kind of a mystery about it too. They will tell you certain things, and they're pretty clear when you ask, but there's some things I didn't know, like, well, what exactly is going on at the pack test. And you go out and you camp and you see if you have your gear, and you compare what other people and how they're packing their gear, and you build a fire and do some other activities. It looks like a mock search. And there's something else that happens that's a surprise. So I've read before that one of the surprises is, a helicopter coming in and everybody getting on the helicopter and going somewhere else to do a search and stuff, which I'm not prepared. I'm not trained to do a helicopter ops, so I doubt it would be that. But it could be a police car showing up. But one thing about search and rescue is that you do what the sheriff tells you to do. The sheriff's who summons you. You don't really ask questions about the case. It's a lot different than what I do on this channel, actually, because you're just searching the area that they tell you to search, and looking for the things. And you don't want to get involved in the case because it's just going to get you likely pulled into court as a witness or something. So you just do your job and get out for whatever you can, the amount of time. So I see that culture in search and rescue and contacting, where they don't provide all the information because you're just supposed to show up and do what they tell you to do, and that's okay. And it may sound that is within the training that they've given you too, and that you're prepared to do. So they're not forcing you to do stuff that you're not prepared. And there's a lot to it. It's a lot more complication, a lot more training that goes into that. You're not just set out there loose cannon who doesn't know what they're doing. But there is a bit of mystery and a bit of a lot of chain of command that's really important, and so you don't always know what's coming up. So I think that's kind of fun in a way, and it's different than I'm used to doing things. Especially with video, I plan things out in entirety most of the time, as much as possible, because otherwise you don't end up with a good product. But this is different. This is a volunteer situation for me, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm kind of disappointed that I'm not going out there this weekend, but kind of glad too. I've got a lot going on, and this is a tough weekend for me, but I'm sure they're going to reschedule it, so that'll be a lot of fun. And in the meantime, you guys be safe, get out there, have fun, and we'll see you next time here on Rat and Cat. Please leave comments below if you have questions about what's going on, or featured segments you'd like to see. I'd love to hear them and see them. So I'll talk to you later. Have a good night. or day. I don't know. It's night here.